With iOS 11, the iPad is getting one of its biggest upgrades ever, and for the first time, it's significantly different than on other iOS devices. And Apple's hope is that this will make it easier to use as a dedicated computer. Now, when you first boot it up, you'll notice the dock. It's available at any time, you just swipe up from the bottom, you don't have to be on the home screen. And the dock on the right will show you your frequently used apps. And on the left side, you can add your apps just like you normally would. Now, this dock is what makes multitasking possible. You still have split view and slide over like before, but they work a bit differently. So now when you have an app open and you want to add a second, you swipe up on the dock and then drag whichever app you'd like onto the screen, and now you're running two apps. You can do this in either the split view mode or the slide over, and you can even run three apps at one time. Also now with multitasking, when you're in split view and say you go home, now when you go back into the app, your split view session is still there. You don't have to reinitiate it. And now the app switcher and control center are in the same place, so you can see all of the apps you're using as well as the controls for your device. Now this is also available thanks to the drag and drop feature, which is also new in iOS 11. Drag and drop works just as you would hope. It works with images, text, links, and you can do it between apps. So if you want to move some images, you just drag it, and then you can also select with other fingers to grab even more, and then you drag it to wherever you'd like, drop it, and there it is transferred over. This works extremely well. For instance, on the web, you can just drag images, you could drag links, you could drag text, and it all is seamless. Now, another big addition to iOS 11 is the Files app. This is available on the iPhone as well, but on the iPad, it really shines. Here, you can see all of the documents and files that you have on your iPad, and you can also see the ones that are in iCloud Drive and other third-party services like Dropbox. In the Files app, you can make folders, you can add things into folders, move them around. It works very similar to a traditional file system. And this, of course, is one of the biggest holdbacks when moving over from a desktop, but now with Files in iOS 11, it makes it that much easier. Now, there are also some other improvements, specifically with the Apple Pencil. Now you have instant markup. Now when you take a screenshot or you have a PDF, you can very easily write on the screen and send it off. And there's also something called instant notes. So when you're on the lock screen, you just tap your Apple Pencil on the screen, the Notes app appears, and you can instantly start writing. There's also inline drawing support, so if you're in Mail or you're in Notes and you want to draw in between some text or other images, you can easily do that and the text will format around it. Also, there's a document scanner built right into Notes. And when typing, the Quicktype Keyboard has an update to flick down for different characters. So if you want to access your numbers or your punctuation, you don't have to go into a separate keyboard. You just do it right on the main keyboard, you just flick down. Now, each of these features on their own are not necessarily major updates, but when you put them all together, it makes using the iPad Pro a much more desktop-like experience, which is exactly what Apple is going for. These features, specific to the iPad and the ones that are coming to the iPhone as well, will be available in iOS 11 in the fall. Right now it's currently in beta, so we may see changes, so be sure to stay tuned to MacRumors.com for any updates on that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and With iOS 11 comes a new feature called Do Not Disturb while driving. This feature works in a similar way to the traditional Do Not Disturb mode, but it can detect when you are in a car. So if you connect to your car's Bluetooth, or if your phone detects that you are moving at a rate similar to a car, Do Not Disturb while driving can activate to mute your notifications, your texts, and phone calls, and it won't light up your screen or make any noise. This will hopefully help with distracted driving, which is a major issue. Now, also, if you get a message while this feature is active, your phone can automatically respond to tell the sender that you are driving and can't reply. But if the sender really needs to get to you, if they text urgent, it'll break through Do Not Disturb and you'll get that message. And if you're connected to your car's Bluetooth, phone calls will still come through. In settings, you can set who will get an automatic reply, and you can adjust what that reply says. And you can also set when you'd like Do Not Disturb while driving to be activated, either manually, when connected to your car, or automatically based on motion. And if you're a passenger in a car, you can still use your phone just by deactivating Do Not Disturb. Now, this feature can easily be turned off, but if you have someone that you don't want to turn it off, like a teenager that just started driving, you can go into Settings under Restrictions and disable the ability to make changes. Distracted driving is a major issue, so hopefully this will help and possibly even save lives. Do Not Disturb while driving is coming in iOS 11. It's still in beta right now, so there may be some changes, but be sure to stay tuned to Mac Rumors for any In iOS 11, Apple updated the Photos and Camera app with even more features. First off, photos and videos are now captured in a new format: HEVC for video and HEIF for photos. And what you really need to know is that this allows your photos and video to be significantly smaller but still high quality, so they'll take up less room on your device and in the cloud. Facial recognition can now be synced between devices, so if you do it on one device, it'll go to the others and you don't have to do it again. Also, portrait mode is getting a quality bump, so you can use the flash and HDR, and it will work better in low light and use optical image stabilization. Memories is also seeing an update, so you will see more kinds of memories like with pets, and this is thanks to machine learning, and the videos created in the memory section can now be viewed in portrait or landscape, and the video will dynamically adjust. Also, live photos have many more options. So when viewing a live photo, all you have to do is swipe up and you will see new options. There are new effects you can add. You can add loop, bounce, and create a long exposure. The loops will continuously play the live photo, the bounce will play it forward and then back, and the long exposure will kind of combine the live photo into one image. If you go into the photo settings, you can also now choose the key photo, the one that you will see before playing. And this feature makes it kind of hard to take a bad photo, since you can choose the best one afterward. But those are the changes coming to the Camera and Photos app in iOS 11. It's not out just yet for everyone until the fall, but be sure to stay tuned to Mac